What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Feild. Welcome to another episode of The Savage Land. And today we have my main man, Scrap Iron, from the G.I. Joe Classified line, up here with his drone and all of his blast effects. Great figure. Not really too much to him. He's a very plain figure, but very in the pocket, very solid. He's got that new kind of thicker buck from G.I. Joe. And he looks really good. Head sculpt looks good. Whatever paint he has on him is good, and he really doesn't require too much. Actually, they gave a little bit more, I guess you would say, definition to Scrap Iron with the removable helmet, because nobody ever seen him with his helmet off. And as you can see there, he has a little sidearm. But great figure. I had a better time with him than I had with Serpentor. As far as his articulation, pretty much has the standard G.I. Joe articulation. I've also forgot about the little data pad that he also has for his drone here too. But another figure, I had fun with him as soon as I opened him up and took him out the box until the time I stopped playing with them. Couldn't get enough ideas and scenes to do with him, man. And he was just very versatile, just mainly because he's a plain figure. But as far as his accessories and everything, like I said, he has a little sidearm, has the drone, has the helmet that goes on his head, and the helmet is really soft and pliable. You can pull it on and off. As far as the drone, I think the articulated tracks are better than the movable tracks. Why? Because with movable tracks, you will never ever see them move in a still picture. With the articulated tracks, it kind of gives you an illustration of pretty much what's going on. It's boom, 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 banging up and down the street off rocks, or going over huge rocks, or just on uneven terrain. Or if you're just on flat terrain, you can articulate the missiles where they shoot out and, you know, actually make a scene. So I think the articulated parts on that drone was the best thing that they can do besides movable tracks. I know everybody want movable tracks, but like I said, when you take a still picture, you're not going to see tracks moving, not unless you're doing stop motion, which you can still make the thing move if you're doing stop motion. But yes, like I said, you can plug and play him in the different scenes. He looks good with everybody. He looks good with the Blue Trooper. He looks good with the Alley Viper. He looks good with my man Firefly here, man. So he's a very versatile figure. And like I said, look at those treads. I mean, I just did those like that just so you can see. It's almost giving an illustration of what's going on. It's banging around on a battlefield. And his blast effects, some of the best blast effects I've seen. As far as when you put light on them, they illuminate very well. But I think they did a really good job on the sculpt and the paint. Like, look at those white clouds. I mean, those look phenomenal, man. And then those blast effects, I don't know why they remind me of like Wile E. Coyote or something like that, but that's the way things used to look like when it used to blow up around Wile E. Coyote. But like I said, man, this is an awesome offering, and I think he was like $45. So then also with this set, you can break all of these parts down and just use them in different scenes. Like, all three different things can go to a different area. Like, say if you want to take Scrap Iron and put him in the Blue Army and just have him just kind of moving around with different guys. Then you can take the drone, you can put that with the HISS tank and the SMS that's coming out and just have an arsenal of firepower. Then you can just take the blast effects and use them for any action figure scene that you ever wanted to do. It doesn't have to be G.I. Joe. So what a great set. And that's why I say, like, with Serpentor's Chariot, like, you could use that with different things, but you can only use it really in the Cobra Army. And then Serpentor, you can add him in the different scenes, but it has to be the right fitting scene, because he's dressed up like he's in ancient Egypt or some damn where. But this guy right here can be dissected down and spread apart. Then also, what's another cool thing about him, eventually he will go on sale because he's a mainline release. So if you want to army build those drone tanks, you definitely can do that. If you want to army build your blast effects, you definitely can do that. If you want to army build him and do some foddering and take his head off, or do some kit bashing, you can do that, because he's such a plain figure with the blue suit and just a red vest. I mean, this figure is awesome, and that's why I say it's better to me than Serpentor. Now, as far as articulation on how he moves, I mean, he has the pretty much same thing going on. I mean, double jointed arms, double jointed legs, has the 2 ball joints at the head and neck, and of course, a little bit of limited articulation with the vest, but the vest is pliable and you can move around. You can get busy. Let's say this: you can move around better than him. This guy firefighter, first fly fire up there, because the vest is a little bit smaller. Now, what I will say is the reason why people kind of really don't like this Firefly, because it's kind of overdone. It overcompensated for Firefly. People wanted a more plainer Firefly, but I actually like this one. And then his legs are skinny as hell. Look at them toothpick legs. But that's why I say, like, this newer buck with G.I. Joe, like this Scrap Iron is a thicker figure. Now, I thought he would be a little bit taller, but he's really not tall. But like I said, man, they did a good job with him. And that's the beautiful thing about G.I. Joe, all the different body types that you come across, because they mix, match, and parts. But awesome figure, man. Like I said, you can do a lot with this guy. He's cheaper than Serpentor. He probably will get cheaper, like maybe around Christmas time. You might see him $10 off. And what a great thing about him is he looked good from the time I seen him on digital renders up until the time I got him in hand. And it's just because of this remarkable head sculpt. G.I. Joe did a really good job giving him some more identity, because he was just kind of like an unknown guy. Now he's kind of like a known guy, because you can put a face to the person. You can put what he's been through, like the huge mortar round that went off by his head and burnt up half his head and blew off half his ear and gave him a dead eye. I mean, that is so cool. But then you can snap that helmet on and just take him to like another character. Now it's the original Scrap Iron. You can't even see any of that face damage, man. And what a good figure. Everybody's pretty much done ran through him by now, but I just wanted to put my little spin on it, man. And I had a blast with him. And like I said, I believe he's better than Serpentor because of the versatility, because he's cheaper. And then plus, I had to go through a lot to get Serpentor. So this guy right here, he's easy to get. He's easy to mess with, and like I said, there's a lot of value just in his package. But I'm gonna leave it at that, man. This is this Savage Land. We do this for the love and beauty of G.I. Joe Classified. If you can, give me a like, comment, subscribe. Catch me on my Instagram at Geppetto910. And with that being said, until the next time, God bless.